From the CBS 42 Storm Team, this is a severe weather alert.
All right, good Tuesday afternoon. I'm Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Ashley Gann. We are tracking an active line of thunderstorms nearing the Alabama state line. These are all moving out of Mississippi right now. Although several of these storms do have tornado warnings associated with them, the National Weather Service here in Birmingham has decided to extend these as severe thunderstorm warnings, losing a little bit of that rotation. And here's why. There's certain elements in our atmosphere right now that are just not quite conducive for some of this spin. That doesn't mean that the threat's zero. Okay, hear me out. But we do have lower dew point values right now. The cloud cover is beginning to build into West Alabama. So those are great stabilizers in our atmosphere. Higher those dew points, when we start to see sunshine, those are ingredients that would instigate some of that instability. So because we're not seeing that, that's actually a good sign. So here's what we're looking at currently. Those storms have started to make their way into Lamar and Pickens County. That's where we do have that severe thunderstorm warning in Lamar County until 4:30. For Pickens County, that storm is going to be in effect until 4:30 as well. Now keep in mind that these storms are moving out of Mississippi at this hour, and we have had confirmation of these storms producing a tornado. So historically, these storms have actually produced confirmed tornadoes on the ground, not just a funnel cloud. These have actually had historical proof of those tornadoes. So this is definitely something that we want to continue watching very closely. Let me go ahead and zoom into these storms, because especially if you live in Pickens and Lamar County, we want to make sure that you are kind of fully have the story as the storm moves into Alabama. We didn't want to just pop on air when these storms moved into the county. We wanted to make sure that you had enough time to get to your safe place if need be. So currently right now, this is our storm team radar tracking these storms in East Mississippi as we are looking at our map currently. So we're not only seeing some of that heavy rainfall, but we are dealing with that rotation. And this is going to be just northeast of Macon, Mississippi, along Highway 45. It will be outside of Starkville. So Starkville, the storms have moved past Starkville right now. But again, we have had some confirmation that there was a tornado associated with the storm just outside of West Point, Mississippi. That's where my finger is pointing on the map if you're not as familiar with East Mississippi geography. West Point, Mississippi, near West Point is where there was a confirmed tornado. Now we've got significant rainfall here. So we are tracking a lot of different elements of this particular storm. So let me look at our storm team velocity right now, because that's where we would likely see any of that rotation embedded in here. So for now, we are seeing still some rotation kind of east of Macon at this time. It will be moving its way into West Alabama. So let me show you quickly what we're kind of looking at this afternoon. I want to reset our cameras really quickly. So let me put it back on our reflectivity here. So our reflectivity, this is showing where we are seeing all of that wet weather. Again, it's really right along the Alabama state line, and that's why we really wanted to bring our attention to it now, so that we make sure that you're kind of prepared for what's to come. But I also want to point out we're starting to get some thunderstorms developing down towards Dallas County. Non-severe at this time, but we are dealing with a bit of heavy rainfall. Some of those storms could be capable of producing some heavier rainfall at times. Let's look at our futurecast very quickly, because I do want to show you what's expected over the next little while. So a bunch of those thunderstorms kind of moving in from the southwest. But I think right now our greatest concern is going to be anywhere from Pickens County, Lamar County, even up into Marion County. And then that threat extends into Tuscaloosa, Fayette, and into Walker County within the next, I would say, 1 to 2 hours, as these storms are moving at about 50 miles per hour right now. So we will continue to monitor these developing thunderstorms. Time right now nearing the 4 o'clock hour at 3:34 exactly. Between now and about 6 p.m., those thunderstorms developing anywhere from Coleman, Jasper, down into Tuscaloosa, kind of pressing in against I-65 close to sunset tonight. By 7 p.m., we'll really start to see this moving into more of a rain and wind event. And we'll have some very strong winds along this leading edge, but we can't rule out some rotation even still, because with these particular storms, we could still have a tornado embedded on this front line. If we get just a little bit of what we call a kink in the line, just a little bit of an inflow, it begins to spin that atmosphere. we could potentially be dealing with rotating storms very quickly. So we will have to keep a very close watch on that. We have this lower level jet that's very intense right now. So from 7 o'clock tonight through around 8 p.m. to 9 o'clock, that's when those storms start to move closer to I-65, pressing into Aniana, moving into Pell City, down to Sylacauga along Highway 280, back into Harpersville, Chelsea, and then back into Birmingham. So 9 o'clock, it's pretty much going to be a messy go of things across all of central Alabama. Hopefully by that time, most folks can be inside, kind of hunkered down for the evening. Regardless of the tornado threat, this will then turn into a flash flooding event, and at night, flash flooding, not a good combination, very difficult to see the roads and that ponding on the roadways. And really, any ponding on the roadways, you do not want to drive through standing water. We use the saying, turn around, don't drown. I know it's a bit of a cheesy saying, but hopefully it's something that you can remember, because with these storms, especially, it only takes about 4 to 6 inches of water to actually create, to flood out your car, basically, stall your car, and we want to make sure that folks stay safe. All right, from 10 o'clock tonight and then into midnight, heaviest rainfall at that point will be east of I-65, stretching anywhere from Gadsden, Pell City, Talladega, Sylacauga, down to Clanton. A lot of heavy rainfall expected in our southeastern counties of our viewing area, whereas we'll begin to see a bit of that clearing sky back to our west. By midnight, again, very heavy rainfall, and with some of this rainfall, locally heavy amounts of rain. We could see 2 to 3 inches of rainfall in just the matter of about the next 12 hours. Significant rainfall. By 2 a.m., most of this has moved east of I-65, so things should quiet down from Coleman to Clanton, but the rain really picks up in tempo along I-20 from Pell City, Heflin down to Roanoke, Wedowee, Talladega, Lineville, Alex City. And then as we move into early Wednesday morning, right around sunrise, our threat will slowly come to an end. We'll send it to the weather desk right now with Alex.
Ashley, thank you so much. You mentioned that the dew points so far have stayed a little lower. It's not something that was totally unexpected, but that has sort of, at least so far in Alabama, prevented more significant severe weather. It's not something that may hold, but here's what we've got right now. Those numbers on the left that you see there are the temperature. The number on the right is the dew point. Typically in the state of Alabama and central Alabama, you're looking for a dew point above 60 to have a tornado threat. We're right on that threshold. Birmingham, Alabaster 58, Jasper, Tuscaloosa 61, Fayette 63. So we're right on the threshold of the kind of environment that would support a storm that could produce a tornado. That's why we've got the tornado watch in place. And we talked about this over the past few days, that there wasn't as much unstable air. There wasn't as much warm, humid air. It's plenty warm outside, but it's not as humid. But with that strong low-level jet stream, these storms might be able to overcome that. There's a severe thunderstorm warning in place until 4:30 for Pickens and Lamar counties. The storms that are prompting this are stretching right now from Monroe County back down to the south through Columbus, East Columbus, Mississippi, and then back down east of Macon, Mississippi. And this is going to be approaching some of the strongest part of this line of storms is going to be approaching the Bevel-Locken Dam near Pickensville pretty soon. The weather going to go downhill very quickly there, damaging winds likely. There is still some spin within this storm. You can see the red and green together there, but at this point it's not as tight as it was back across Mississippi. And that rotation is broadened out. It's not immediately tornadic at this point. That's why the National Weather Service in Birmingham going with a severe thunderstorm warning, because there's still absolutely that damaging wind threat in these storms. We don't necessarily have an immediate tornado threat for Lamar or Pickens counties, but a severe weather threat nonetheless. That's why we're here. And that tornado watch still in effect for West Alabama. I'll pop that watch up for you here, and you can see the warnings and watches in place. That tornado watch for West Alabama still in place. That goes until 7 p.m. for Marion, Winston, Lamar, Fayette, Walker, Pickens, Tuscaloosa, Sumter, Greene, and Hale counties. And then again, you can see those tornado warnings that are still in effect across Mississippi. But so far, those storms and the rotation in them has been trending down. There's still absolutely a damaging wind threat in these storms. The tornado threat trending down. So at least for right now, no tornado warnings in the state of Alabama. But there is still some rotation there. And with that strong low-level jet, Ashley, we're going to have to watch these storms very, very closely because, again, the low-level jet there, that increases our wind shear. So we've got strong winds aloft, Those winds can be pushed down to the surface by these storms, but we can also see that wind shear pick up, and you can get storms that start to spin and produce tornadoes relatively quickly. I do want to point out, for anyone who doesn't have a plan in place, we've got information on our website, cbs42.com, about storm shelters. Every storm shelter that we've got information on in central Alabama, we've got those listed on our website, cbs42.com. Information on how to make a severe weather plan. You really should have made that earlier today or yesterday or the day before when the weather was nicer, but making sure you know what you need to do, particularly in West Alabama, west of I-65 here over the next few hours. If you get placed under a tornado warning, having that plan in place is an important thing. We don't have those warnings in place right now, but we do have those the severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for all of Lamar and all of Pickens counties. We have these polygon-based warnings, but basically the Weather Service of Birmingham saying that that severe weather threat goes throughout the entire county in Lamar and Pickens counties. That's going to be in effect for about another 50 minutes, actually about another 49 minutes now. That stays into effect until 4:30. The primary threat there, storms that could produce 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and that's enough to take down a tree and put it on a house. So we still want you to take these storms very, very seriously. Damaging winds right now pushing into Lamar and Pickens counties. I'm going to put a storm track on this for you and sort of track this line of storms out as they move through. So this is going to be headed towards the Bevel Lock and Dam here probably in the next 7 to 8 minutes. Pickensville by about 3:51. If you're watching us in Vernon, this is going to be moving in at about 3:54. Aliceville, this will probably be pushing into Aliceville. Maybe, I'll say this may clip a little bit north of town, but based on that storm track by about 4:05 p.m. And of course, that's for the dead center of town. Depending on where you live, understand you need to give yourself a few more minutes to get into a safer place as these storms move on in. Do want to stress no tornado warnings currently in place, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lamar and Pickens counties. That goes until 4:30. So actually, that's where things stand right now. We don't have any damage reports that I've seen come through in Alabama. There have been several reports of damage, though, in Mississippi as these storms have produced tornadoes across parts of central and eastern Mississippi this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. And as you mentioned, a lot of storm damage reported back into Mississippi. And maybe we could connect with one of our sister stations back in Jackson, Mississippi, because video is now starting to come in through social media of some of the damage there. Trees have been snapped in many locations, and we are getting some reports of some minor structural damage to some buildings back in central and east Mississippi. Now, that same line of storms is barreling into Alabama, so I want to do a quick reset for us right now. We are doing some extended coverage, kind of preempting our normal newscast at 4 o'clock because we want to make sure that you're prepared. We have 3 active tornado warnings really kissing that Alabama-Mississippi state line right now, and we want to make sure that the viewers in our CBS 42 viewing area that are right along that Mississippi-Alabama state line have that plan in place, and if you need to enact that plan, you can do so. Although these polygons, they do a great job of fencing in the ultimate danger, there's also nothing magical about these lines, and we like to give people kind of downstream of these warnings enough time. Even if that tornado warning is not extended, we want to make sure that folks at least know that there's some threat and some potential therein. All right, let's talk about the tornado alerts right now. Where you see the counties highlighted in yellow, these are tornado watches. Tornado watches simply mean that conditions are favorable. It doesn't mean that the danger is imminent. So the conditions are favorable for tornado development. But as Alex was pointing out, we kind of have a dual system going on. We have a difference between dynamics and thermodynamics, and not to get too technical about things, but basically we have a lot of wind movement, so that would be your dynamics, but we don't have a lot of the heat that we usually talk about when we talk about dew point values. That moisture content is very important. It's the energy, the fuel that these storms need. So we've got those severe thunderstorm warnings right now for Pickens and Lamar County, so that's in West Alabama, Sullivan, down through Carrollton and Aliceville. And looking at that weather outlook for today, again, that main threat was back in Mississippi. It's all moving into Alabama now, and although it looks like the colors of the rainbow here on our screen, let me kind of break down on a risk scale of 1 to 5. We've got a 4 out of 5 to our west, a 3 out of 5 from Hamilton to Tuscaloosa along I-65. That slight risk, a 2 5 and marginal to our east. Now, keep in mind, whether it's a marginal risk or an enhanced risk, it all is a risk, okay? So whether that risk is a 1 or a 4, I wouldn't get too caught up in the numbers. It just, all this means on this map is when we talk about the ingredients, as meteorologists look at these maps, those ingredients are most favorable in our westernmost counties, but it doesn't rule out the potential for a tornado to happen in East Alabama. Whether it's 1 tornado in Anniston or 3 tornadoes in Tuscaloosa, it doesn't matter. A tornado is a tornado. So we just keep that in mind. All right, let me just kind of quickly walk you through our day planner because these storms are going to become much more numerous. You might see these percentages here. The percentage refers to the coverage area. How many people in our viewing area will be impacted at that time? It is not a pinpoint percentage there. So just over half of our viewing area will likely be in some sort of rain between 4 and 8 p.m. By 8 to 10 p.m., much greater coverage there through the overnight hours. So we're staying weather alert. Let's send it to the desk with Art.
All right, Ashley, thanks a lot. It is a weather alert day here in our area right now with tornado watches in place, also severe thunderstorms in effect in Alabama right now. As we can see that those storms have marched across the state line in Mississippi, moving into our area. And that nice weather that we were experiencing early in the day, that weather is now starting to diminish as we are expecting storms to move into this area. Let's get out to across Birmingham. Our Chloe Vicente is out in Birmingham right now. And Chloe, I can see that seems to be a little windy where you are now. Give us a sense of what you're experiencing out there outside at this point.
Yeah, we're right on top of Red Mountain right now where you can get a nice view of the city of Birmingham. When we first got here about an hour ago, there was a bit more sun, not as much wind. So the wind has definitely picked up. The air less muggy, a little drier, and we have seen some darker clouds starting to roll in here, but no rain or nothing crazy going on yet. Just keeping an eye on the city of Birmingham. You can see those dark clouds kind of right over the downtown area right now. So we are just keeping an eye and monitoring that, but we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Chloe Vicente out in the Birmingham area as we can see the clouds over the city in Birmingham right now as those conditions are starting to worsen in our area. The storm certainly moved through Mississippi. The West Point area, Ashley talked about a confirmed tornado there and minor structural damage in Mississippi as well. With a tornado watch in effect now and a thunderstorm warning in place, let's get back over to our storm team. Ashley Gann bringing us up to date as to what we're actually experiencing here in Alabama.
All right, so we do actually have a new tornado warning in East Mississippi. Again, these are just really firing up right along the state line. So we need to keep a watchful eye from the city of York, Sumter County up through Pickens County, and then on into Greene County. I would say even in western Greene County, we'll need to make sure that folks are prepared for this storm because these storms, although yes, they are positioned due west of most of these cities as the crow flies, these are actually moving at a very sharp northeasterly kind of movement right now. So this includes the city of Meridian. And let me zoom into this particular storm, make sure we've got our appropriate radar on here. And then I'm going to zoom into the storm because, again, this does have some rotation on it now as this is moving through Meridian. So this is crossing over Interstate 20 right now. And this particular storm is going to be basically moving right across I-20. It's on Highway 45 right now. And as it continues to track north across 20, it will likely eventually be making its way in, again, northern Sumter County and then southern Pickens County. So I want to make sure that folks in Aliceville up towards Carrollton, you are definitely getting in your safe place. Regardless of a tornado or not, this storm system is going to dump significant rainfall as well. We don't have any flash flood warnings at this time, but just be prepared for soaking rainfall. This is going to limit visibility, and this is also going to be a challenge when we are talking about those rotating storms. You hear us talk about rain-wrapped storms often, so you won't really be able to see some of those distinct features when there's such heavy rainfall, like a wall cloud or a funnel cloud or the tornado itself. It will just immediately get windy, rainy, and that's where that tornado is. So we want to make sure folks aren't necessarily going out hunting these, because this is a situation where we're not going to have really great visibility for these storms because of the conditions kind of around these storms right now. Lightning is definitely picking up. That is one thing that I have noticed on this last scan here. So with those lightning strikes, if I take them off, you can kind of see that reflectivity, those reds on your map. That makes it a little easier to see where these tornadoes are. But if I put the lightning on, what that tells us is where there's more frequent lightning, there's more energy in the storm. That likely means that the storm is intensifying. When we have those intensifications of storms, that can mean that there's better rotation beginning to develop or continuing. So that's what we're seeing right now. Again, tornado warning includes the city of Meridian right along Interstate 20. Although I-20 does go back into Tuscaloosa, Tuscaloosa is not going to be in the storm system right now, but we can see that sky is growing increasingly gray there in Tuscaloosa. Cloud cover is beginning to move in. No rain yet has been detected in Tuscaloosa, but we can definitely see those storms kind of forming well off in the distance there as we are tracking some not only heavy rainfall, but the potential for these tornadoes. And let's see if we have some new information on that. Any new information on that storm near Meridian, Alex?
No, I mean, we do have those tornado warnings in place. I did want to point out a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for parts of Marion County until 4:30. This will be from Hackleburg south and west back towards Hamilton and towards the Mississippi state line. So Hackleburg back towards Pig Eye, Hamilton, Pleasant Ridge. You are now in a severe thunderstorm warning. That goes until 4:30. That includes, that's in addition to the warning in place for Lamar and Pickens counties. We are watching that storm as it moves through Pickensville, maybe seeing some tightening of rotation there. Again, no tornado warning on that yet, but something we're going to monitor. But Ashley, again, still watching this line of, these are supercell thunderstorms that are developing right now from Kemper County on down, and that line of storms right there. These storms right here are going to be ones to watch for Sumter County, Clark County, Greene County, and southern Pickens County over the next 30 to 45 minutes. I will point out as well, we are likely to get a watch extension, so we may get that tornado watch pushed a little bit further east in the next few minutes. So that's something we'll be watching for as well. But those storms that are sort of from Kemper County, Mississippi south, these here that are extending back down from basically west of Geiger near Scuba, Mississippi south down I-59 and just east of it, that is a big threat moving forward. Also want to point out for people who may be watching who have interests out here, this is Scuba, Mississippi, tornado warning in place for this storm right here. East Mississippi Community College sits about right here in Scuba, so this is going to pass close to that. The city of Geiger sits right here, north and east of Scuba, Mississippi. So if that holds up, this would likely impact Scuba, potentially Geiger, and then make its way into far northern Sumter and far southern Pickens counties. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning in place for Pickens County right now until 4:30. The Weather Service continuing to watch these storms closely. We'll let you know if they go with a tornado warning. But if you are watching us in southern Pickens County, northern Sumter County, start thinking about right now what you're going to do if you get that alert that there's a tornado warning in place. We don't have one in place right now, just a severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens, but understand that we may get one shortly if these storms maintain intensity and push into Sumter and Pickens County. So that's an area of concern at this point. I'm going to switch radar sites here, and again, we're still watching these storms that are moving through Pickens County, still predominantly a straight line wind threat in these storms. I'll pop on the shear rate for you, and you can see those bright greens and even some maroons showing up there along and east of Highway 14. That is some strong wind moving through. You can see a tornado warning back across the state line into Mississippi. Those storms are now pretty much all in Alabama and under a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, you see that line of wind extending right now back through Vernon, Sullivan, back up towards Detroit, and that looks a little interesting on the Lamar-Marion line. We'll look at that with the velocity and likely some very strong winds near Detroit, and that'll be making its way up towards Hamilton here in the next few minutes. So that's something we're going to be watching as well, that line of storms as it lifts up. If you're watching us southwest of Hamilton and Marion County, things are about to get rough here in the next few minutes. Art?
All right, Alex, thanks a lot. Getting out ahead of this storm, we've got our team spread out throughout central Alabama to make sure that you are prepared for the severe weather as it marches across the Mississippi state line into Alabama. You heard from Chloe in Birmingham not long ago. We want to go now to Bibb County, and our Jen Cardone, she is in Brent. And Jen, tell us what the situation is like there. How are conditions where you are?
Well, Art, you might be able to see my hair starting to blow just a little bit. The wind's kind of been on and off. We're actually outside of the Brent Senior Center tornado shelter, which someone had just come out to tell us that they've been open since about 2 o'clock. Now, if you come over to the side here, you'll actually be able to see the American flag kind of blowing in the wind. On our journey here from Birmingham, you started with sunshine, that we got closer to the clouds as we came out here, but what you could really feel was the wind on our way here. It was blowing the car on and just in the lanes as we were going, especially those semi trucks were really blowing on the road. So the wind's definitely a factor out here of starting to pick up again, but as we've been out here, it's just kind of been on and off. And of course, we're continuing to monitor things as we stay out here in Bibb County, and we'll keep you updated as this storm makes its way through our viewing area. Art?
All right, Jen Cardone, she is in Brent in Bibb County, and you know preparation is the key here. We want to get to another reporter. We've got Jake Chapman. We have sent him to West Alabama. He's in Tuscaloosa, taking a look at the conditions there. As we were talking with Ashley earlier, we saw how dark things started to look there. Jake is in our Storm Team weather unit out there. So, Jake, what are you seeing there in Tuscaloosa?
Well, Art, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. It just got really dark here in Tuscaloosa. We've been here since about probably 1:30 or so, and it was a bright and sunny day, 70 degrees, you name it. It seemed like a pitch perfect day, but I'm going to actually flip the camera around and show you what we see here. We're at the Walmart off of McFarland Road here in Tuscaloosa. As you can see, the clouds have gotten a lot darker in the past couple of hours, and again, right here as well, just another angle. Now, to prepare for this weather event that is coming this way, the University of Alabama actually dismissed students and everything around 1 o'clock, and they're not going to have operations again until about 5 tomorrow morning. Now, I did speak with Tuscaloosa County EMA about the storms heading this way and their preps going into it. I spoke to them about an hour and a half ago. They tell me they have about 8 or 10 people on standby right now, monitoring the same thing our meteorologists are seeing coming this way. But again, you could see how dark the clouds have really gotten in Tuscaloosa right now, and we're expecting them to get a little darker as the evening plays out. But again, Art, we're going to be out here monitoring the situation, so stay with us both on air and inside CBS42.com. Back to you.
All right, that's our Jake Chapman. He is live in Tuscaloosa as we have our crews spread out throughout the area ahead of the storms, making sure that you are prepared as these storms are moving into the state. Jake is there in Tuscaloosa, where you can see those dark clouds moving into the area, and they seem to be moving in pretty quickly there. Also, our Jen Cardone, she is in Brent in the Bibb County area. You saw just how windy things are. We're giving you that other look at Tuscaloosa right there, and also Chloe Vicente, the calm right now in Birmingham, but conditions are changing, and our Ashley Gann, of course, is on top of that as our storm team is watching these storms move into the area.
So yeah, we are looking at all threats for today, Art. We are tracking not only heavy rainfall right now, and we have talked about this, the initial threat with this whole event would be the tornadic threat. It would be isolated thunderstorms out ahead of this line. What's happened so far today, though, is that isolated line of thunderstorms along with kind of the main line has almost married together. We're not seeing as many what we would tend to call supercellular storms developing out well ahead of this line. However, I want to bring your attention to one line of showers that is now developing, because this is not going to be necessarily uncommon to be seeing some more of this as this energy is moving out of southwest Alabama. I am tracking a line of showers from Dallas County, basically Selma all the way up through Brent, tracking through Maplesville at this time. This will all be moving to the east. Now, it's lifting to the north as it slowly scoots east, but none of this is severe. Originally, this is where we thought our greatest concern for some of those isolated tornadoes or isolated storms would be that could possibly produce a tornado. But right now, these are behaving Just some heavy rainfall at times. This is very isolated though, and this will all be ahead of the main line. So if you start to get some rain in some places in Chilton County, this is not associated